Hi, this is Darren Steinle. I'm the Director of Field Service for the Northern Lights Council. Today I'm going to chat a little bit about some technology that is available for unit leaders and commissioners and other volunteers. The first one is my.scouting.org, which is a website that's been available, probably for about a year now. I'm going to go through that first, then we're going to talk about a brand new My Scouting application that you can use on a smartphone. So anyway, we're going to start off with the myscouting.org website. You go to this first page, you'll need to put in a username and a password. If you need to create an account, you can do that. One of the things that you'll need to create in your account is your member ID number, because without that information, the site won't work exactly to your benefit, because you won't have access to things that are specific to your position. But once you do get logged in, you'll see something like this where you can there'll be a starting page that shows what's kind of new on the website, and then you can click on the menu button up here, and you'll get a drop down menu. Some of the recent things that maybe you've used will show up on here. Otherwise, you can go to My Dashboard to start off with, and when you go to My Dashboard, it'll pop up on the training page is the first one. It'll show you if your youth protection training is expired or when it will be expiring. You will also have an opportunity to take other trainings, whether depending on what your position is. And this, I just selected Cub Scout Leader Training so you can see the different positions that you can take training for. You click the Take the Course button. It'll take you to another site where you probably will have to log in with your my.scouting username and password, but then you can get into the training courses to complete. Back onto our menu in my.scouting, you'll have probably your unit or your district name, depending on what your position will show up. Since I have access to everything, it shows Northern Lights Council, but everybody will have these different tools available to you. If you're a unit leader that is set up to accept online applications, you'll have an application manager. If you are a commissioner, you'll have commissioner tools in here, commissioner administration, and some other items that'll be available to you. The one that I'm going to go into right now is the member manager, and you would click on your unit or the units that you would have access to, and it'll actually list all of the adult leaders and youth members within the unit. You can actually go in and update their information, like if they've moved and have a new address, or to put in their correct email address or a phone number. And then once you've made those changes, you go up and click the Save button, and it'll actually be updated in our computer system here at the council office, at the national office, and then it'll be updated on my.scouting as well. You can also print off a membership card if somebody loses it, or you want to give it to a new adult, so that they have their membership ID number here, which I've blocked out for this person, but that's one way you can get your member ID number so that they can set up their account. Another thing in here is for commissioners, they can go in and see which units they're assigned to. They can go in and when they've made a contact with that person and done a unit visit, they can add those in. For this PAC 416 in Alexandria, we can see that there's been some commissioners that have visited with them, and they have put in some notes about that visit. Now here's the new one. This is the My Scouting app that's available on iOS for Apple smartphones, and there's also the Android version that you can get as well. You're going to use the same username and password that you would use on my.scouting to get into this system. Now, to download the app from the App Store, what you'll want to do is type in My Scouting with no space in there, and it will be the second app that pops up on your screen. And so it's got this blue background with the fleur-de-lis on it, and that's where you would download the app from. Once you log in, this is the first screen that you'll see. It shows when your youth protection training will expire. It also has a member ID number up here, which I probably should have blocked out, but anyway. And then you've got some different options. Right now, it's still a work in progress, so not everything is working, but you have a My Training tab. The announcements and the calendar are things that we don't have anything loaded into there right now, but in the future, if we get people that are starting to use this, we'll start loading some of those things in. So for right now, as far as individual information, it's training and the organization roster. And then there's also some other tools that you can get to down at the bottom by clicking on some of the buttons. But you go to your profile, you can see what you're registered for. You can update your contact information and your address, those types of things right from the app. Under the training, you'll see the different options that you have. You can see what your current youth protection training status is and retaking youth protection, or you can go to My Completions and see what you've done. So here's the youth protection. It says that it's expiring on this date, but I can retake the course at any time. Coming in the future, they'll have venturing and exploring youth protection training on here as well. This is showing the completions that I've done in 2017. If I clicked on some of these other tabs, it would see other trainings that I've also completed. Some of those have expiration dates and some of them do not. But that's where you can see that right from your phone. If you do need to take a training, you can go to the training center. Depending on which program you want to get trained in, you can click on Cub Scouting and it'll take you to another place that you have to log in again to get to the actual training center. But you can do the training right from your phone if you want to. As I said, there's also the organization roster down here. So if you're registered within a unit, you'll have access to some information in there. Of course, on mine, I have all the districts, but yours would just list the ones that you had access to. It would probably be pack whatever or troop whatever. I just selected one of the units in here that lists the different leadership positions. If I click on a person's name, I can go in and see what they're registered as. I'll have access to their phone and their email if they have it as well. So, everybody within your unit, if you're a unit leader, you have access to this information. It doesn't have all the same features that the website has, where you can't print a membership card or anything like that. But, for when you're on the go, you've got access to this information. Some of the other things that commissioners have available is they can see what units they're assigned to. They can set up roundtables as far as, like meeting notes, and taking care of recording visits. Some of the other things that is on the app that is somewhat useful too is some different guides. So you've got the guide to safe scouting that's right on here. If you click on that, it'll take you to the council or to the national website and have a mobile version of the guide to safe scouting. The leader trained positions shows what type of training each leadership position is required to have to be considered trained. This is under the general tab. You also have some stuff that's important for units to know, the advancement guide, uniforms and awards, those types of things. Commissioners have some guide or some field books available for them, and some links to videos. And districts, depending on your position, has some of these materials available as well. Now, I said this is a work in progress, so coming up in the end of 2017, they're going to be adding some new features. And as of any time, you can always go to the website for the full functionality. But this is going to be a work in progress. They're going to keep making updates, and once you've downloaded the app from the App Store, depending on how you set up checking for updates, you may have to go in by the end of the year and manually do it, or if you have it set up to automatically do it, it'll do it that way. So just some technology things available, and the National Council is continuing to move in this direction to update this stuff so that the My.Scouting and Scout books and our national computer system talk with each other and update information as best as possible. We'll see you next time on Video News.